Welcome into the Oklahoman's video studio. Dave Morris alongside Sean Rose from the Better Business Bureau. It's time for Trust Tuesday, going up on a Thursday, I guess,
right.
this month.
Absolutely.
Welcome into the studio. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You guys surviving the winter weather.
Oh, yeah.
The freezing rain, the sunshine, just hours apart.
It was great. Yeah, it was just awesome. Right, the whole spectrum.
Yeah, well, it's typical Oklahoma weather, right? And the time changes in a couple weeks, which means it's probably tornado season before you know it.
Right. It's just every time you just kind of, okay, summer, spring, fall, winter, and now tornadoes.
Yeah, and that's just a week. Well, Sean's with, of course, the Better Business Bureau of Central Oklahoma. Our topic this week, or this month, is 5 tips for increasing employee productivity. And I'm assuming this doesn't mean sitting around on your phone playing video games, Candy Crush, or whatever the latest video game might be.
Well, it would be awesome. No, yeah, we're actually talking about like doing work and stuff. So,
and that includes some skill sets, as in equipping your team with the right tools.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, so that's really kind of the first big thing is making sure your team has the right tools. And there's, with so much technology and such, a diverse opportunity out there for tools and software and this and that, it's really time you kind of buckle down and take a look at it. Internally at BBB, we took a look at it and we wanted to make sure that we had the right apps that we were using to kind of track the workflow and the processes, because it's a lot of different people working kind of on the same thing sometimes. So,
does that get in the way though sometimes, some time tracking apps, where some things, I guess there's a fine line between productivity, things that help track and measurables, and just busy work?
There is, and it's definitely a delicate balance, to say the least. So time tracking apps, we don't actually use those too much. We just kind of say, okay, let's just, on a spreadsheet, let's just kind of put in what we're working on from hour to hour, because you don't want to get caught in that monotony of, okay, I did this from this time to this time to this, and there's some cool things out there, like there's these little cubes you can write, like if you're, have the same kind of 8 basic functions of a day, you can hold it up and put it face up and it'll track, and then when you switch to a different task, you can flip it over and it'll track that task. But we don't do cool things like that. We just use the good old spreadsheet.
Sure.
But there's a lot of other like collaboration tools and communication apps. I know that Slack has kind of become a huge communication thing. I am on the far side of the millennial spectrum, I guess you might say. So I'm kind of like, it's like texting, but there's more stuff to it.
There's a lot more to it.
But I'm on a couple different boards and we use Slack all the time, and I get why that's there. Collaboration-wise, at BBB, we use Trello, which is just kind of has these different boards, and you can kind of go through and track, because it's between myself, Jackie, who works with me, and 2 other people. They're constantly updating, okay, here's where this project is at, here's where this thing's at, and content-wise, here's how this is coming through the process. So it's really, really good to have that collaborative tool so we can all know where everybody is.
Also, I guess dovetails off of this is there are a lot of different apps, a lot of different technology. It sort of depends on the people you have and their comfort level.
Absolutely.
And their skill set, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the second big part is making sure that you have a good culture and making sure that you have a cultural fit with your employees. And this really can make or break a company pretty early on, because you want to know ahead of time while you're hiring somebody, are they going to fit into this culture? It's just a big, big part of what we do as an organization and our culture, and we've seen, sometimes people don't necessarily fit, and the problem is they're great people, they're hard workers, they just don't fit the culture, so they don't really mesh well. And then if you have to go and let those people go or help them find something else, then you have to go and fill the position again, and you're back to square one. So making sure that your cultural fit is there with a potential hire is going to save you guys a lot of time.
And sometimes you hire Dave, he's just not a cultural fit. And maybe he's in the wrong team. He needs to go somewhere else and thrive. It's
Absolutely.
Just a bad match.
Absolutely, yeah. I've actually had a couple folks that were in our business development side that weren't doing so awesome there, but we put them in different roles in the operation side, and they've done amazing. And so it's always kind of making sure, you're looking at the big picture. Are the people there, are their skill sets to the best of what their job is assigned to? That kind of aspect is all kind of fills in with the culture.
Well, and the skill set's important too, to kind of continue with the training and the education.
Absolutely, and we actually found, I want to make sure I get this right, a 2013 study in the Journal of International Science and Research actually kind of found that training is greatly beneficial to both the employees and their employers. It really helps people broaden their skills, helps them stay more involved, really gets them excited about going to work. If Dave's Cafe.
Sure.
If Dave's Cafe has a cook and that cook is doing well and you want to make sure that he's still doing well, you send him to a training on like a Kazakhstani barbecue or something like that.
Why not?
I don't know if it's a thing, it could be.
It might be delicious.
Absolutely, and that would help him gain more skills, learn more ways to cook quicker, faster, more efficiently, and then in the end benefit Dave's Cafe because you're going to have a reduced cost on food waste and so on and so forth. So it's any way that you can get those employees to continuously train is always a great opportunity for you.
Might be a good way for employee retention as well.
Absolutely, and it makes them really kind of feel like, oh, they're invested in us. At BBB, we have kind of a mandate in most of our departments is you have to go to one kind of professional development thing a year, whether it's a group that meets monthly or a conference that you might be interested in that we can send you to. It's always beneficial for you because it helps you learn and grow, and it also kind of helps people realize, hey, this is a great place to work because not a lot of employers do that.
I see what Sean's doing over here. He's going to Kit saying, hey, there's this conference in San Diego. I really need to go. This is for my own personal and company growth.
Absolutely.
And also it's beautiful there.
Yeah, great. And I'll write a paper about everything. Yeah.
Micromanaging. Are you a micromanager?
I am not.
Yeah, me neither.
And these last two kind of go hand in hand, and I've kind of learned personally more about that. But I don't micromanage because it's just a terrible thing to do. And it also, if I have somebody that works for me, and I give them a task or a duty, if I'm standing there watching them do it, I'm wasting my time,
sure.
And I'm wasting their time because in the end, I'm just going to take it over. And it's just a vicious cycle is that, if an employer gives a task to an employee, they don't do it so well, then he starts hovering, then the employee gets nervous, then they do worse. And it's just, you got to let go. You got to trust your people. You have to trust your hiring process that brought them on board, that this person is right and equipped to do the job. And then let them do their job. Go on with your day. Yeah, go handle other things. You're there for a strategic plan, for a big picture. Focus on the big picture. Let the employees carry out the work.
And finally, we mentioned communication earlier, but that communication really is key. Clear, focused communication.
That is, and
here's the goal.
And it's the fine line between not being a micromanager, but also applying good communication skills. I'll single out Jackie Hines, who's behind the camera right now, because we actually just went through this. I don't like to micromanage because I trust her and she's competent and she does an amazing job. However, I also wasn't communicating enough with her, so she was kind of standing there sometimes like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or what we're doing.
Sean, what are you talking about?
So, and that was where I learned, it's effective, to be good, have good open lines of communication. And it's been really, really interesting. It's really hard sometimes because if you're in a role where you don't have anybody that works for you, but now you do, you really have to learn that perfect balance. And like if you're an entrepreneur who had a one-person shop, but now you're growing so fast you have to hire more people, you really need to make sure that you're kind of toned up on your communication skills.
Good stuff, good tips. As always, from our friends at the Better Business Bureau. He's Sean Rose. Always good to see you, Sean.
Always a pleasure, sir.
Say hello to Kit for us.
Will do.
For Page Producing. We will wrap it up right there. Trust Tuesdays from the Better Business Bureau. Sean, again, thanks for your time.
Thank you.